a case digest of RENE PUSE versus Ligaya de los Santos PUSE. Petitioner is Mr. RENE VENTENILLA PUSE, a registered professional teacher stationed at Aguirre Elementary School, East District, Jose Panganiban, Camarines Norte. Ligaya de los Santos PUSE, the respondent, is a barangay rural health midwife assigned at the Municipal Health Office of Jose Panganiban, Camarines Norte. RENE PUSE and Ligaya PUSE had 2 children and had a church wedding at Daet, Camarines Norte on January 10, 1992. Not until Ligaya discovered that her husband was already married to Cristina Pablo PUSE at the Municipal Trial Court at Lahuag, Ilocos Norte on December 27, 1986, with having 2 kids as well with his first wife.
With the Director of Professional Regulation Commission, Manila, the respondent filed a letter complaint on August 2, 2005 for asking for assistance against her husband, whom she filed case for bigamy and abandonment because, according to her, her husband has not been giving support to her and their children. The main problem of the case of RENE VENTENILLA PUSE and de los Santos PUSE is when RENE VENTENILLA PUSE committed such an immoral and dishonorable act of bigamy and abandonment to his second wife, Ligaya.
The respondent, a barangay rural health midwife, filed a temporary restraining order against the petitioner, a registered professional teacher. The respondent married the petitioner in 1992 and filed a letter complaint in 2005 for immorality and dishonorable conduct. The petitioner argued that the complaint was not verified and that the respondent failed to attach a valid certification against forum shopping. The petitioner filed a petition for review, which was dismissed by the Court of Appeals. The court ruled that the complaint was of a private nature and that the petitioner should have applied for a judicial order declaring his first wife presumptively dead before marrying the respondent.
The court also found that the petitioner's allegation of improper venue and the fact that the complaint was under oath were not sufficient grounds for the dismissal of the complaint. The petitioner was also afforded administrative due process, which allowed him to explain his side or seek reconsideration of the action or ruling. Petitioner was charged before the Board of Professional Teachers under Republic Act No. 7836 and not under Civil Service Law, Rules and Regulation.
The petitioner questions the Board of Professional Teachers Lucena State's jurisdiction over a complaint filed by a teacher about a second marriage. The petitioner claims that the board violated CSG Resolution No. 940521 and denied the due process to the petitioner, who was informed of the retraction of his witness testimony only upon receiving the board's decision. The petitioner argues that the Board of Professional Teachers Lucena City was not partial because the investigating officer knew that the responsive personally. The petitioner claims that the act of entering into the second marriage was not immoral and that he committed it before becoming a teacher. He argues that the gravity of the charges stems from his marriage and lack of morally required for the teaching profession. The petitioner believes that the suspension of his professional license is the appropriate punishment.
Evidence 1, Section 3, Article 3. Every teacher shall merit reasonable social recognition, for which purpose he shall behave at honor and dignity at all times, and refrain from such activities such as gambling, smoking, drunkenness, and other excesses, much less illicit relation.
Evidence 2, Section 1 to 4, Article 11. Section 1. A teacher is above all a human being endowed with life, for which in the highest obligation to live with dignity at all times, whether in school, in the home, or elsewhere. Section 2. A teacher shall place premium upon self-discipline as the primary principal's behavior of impersonal all relationships with others and in all situations.
Evidence, Section 3. A teacher shall maintain at all times a dignified personality which could serve as a model worthy of emulation by learners, peers, and all others. Section 4. A teacher shall always recognize the Almighty God as guide of his own destiny and of the destinies of men and nations.
The Board of Professional Teachers, PRC, Manila, found the petitioner administratively liable for immorality and dishonorable conduct and revoked his license as a professional teacher. The board had jurisdiction over the case, as it was a professional teacher. The charge of immorality and dishonorable conduct is one of the grounds for the revocation or suspension of a professional teacher's license. The board ruled that the petitioner's immorality and dishonorable conduct demonstrate his unfitness to continue practicing his profession, as he is no longer the embodiment of a role model for young elementary school pupils.
Under Republic Act No. 4670, or the Board of Professional Teachers had jurisdiction over the administrative case, not the Civil Service Commission or the Department of Education. The Court of Appeals agreed with the board, finding the petitioner's excuse that he believed his first wife was dead and that his former marriage was no longer existing. The authority to hear and decide administrative cases by the Board of Professional Teachers, DepEd, and the CSC comes from Republic Act No. 7836, Republic Act No. 4670, and Presidential Decree No. 807. The board in the appellate court found the petitioner's belief that his first wife was already dead and that his former marriage was no longer subsisting as unlawful and immoral.